Okay, what I should do today is I need to actually write the quest that I've been writing for eons, for millions of years. I've been editing this freaking quest. Actually, I don't even know when I started, like 2 months ago, I bet. Admittedly, I've also been, like, not working on the game. I've been working on the other game. Because, yeah, as I said in my video, this is now relegated to... Well, it's still relegated to hobby project. And now my other game is actually, like, the professional, like, one that's going to be expected or hoping to make money off of it. For this one, still no expectation of actually, like, it ever turning a profit. But okay, let's actually see where I was. Because, yeah, it's been eons since I've worked on it. And I also made the art style significantly worse than it was. But okay. Let's see, where should we look? So, I think we should talk to Fahrenheit's husband. At the very least, we should tell him the news about his wife. Where is he? He lives on the south side of the hill, right above the east entrance to the forest. Let's go. That's right here. And this is the husband. He nods. Okay. Oh, there's nothing. Because we don't have any dialogue. Okay, so that's where we left off. So, what are my goals for this dialogue? I think I want to create the suspicion that the husband was involved in his wife's murder. So let's go to dialogue, quest major, in another life, husband. Okay. Otherwise, let's say not completed. Actually, let's have like How will he react to the news? Oh yeah, I should also check the audio levels for the... I think the audio's a little loud on the microphone. I turned up the gain quite a lot, because I moved it a bit further away from me. Yes, let's go to filters. Let's turn this down, like, 4 decibels? Okay, how's that looking? Okay, that's looking about where I want it to be, like right at the edge of like the yellow zone. Basically, I don't want to peak the mic, but I want it to be as high as possible. But okay, have you told him what happened? I tried, but I don't speak enough Yukazi to explain, otherwise I haven't. Oh no, I hope it doesn't break his heart. You know what? I want to get the quest, like, actually implemented. To do, Auntie explains the death to the husband. He asks some questions, but he doesn't seem particularly upset. You can't tell if he's being stoic. Let's say it's hard to tell. Okay. Put that in the journal. IAL, husband, reaction. Didn't seem too upset that his wife was died. Is he just acting stoic, or... Okay, and then that'd be, another life. IL husband. There we are. And in fact, we could probably do like, let's do like IL husband sus. Basically here we do a state add stat. Basically we have some generic suspicion stat. So anything that he says or does that we think like could implicate him in the murder, we then add here. Yeah, so what exactly do we want then from this? Otherwise, let's do, well, let's say that for now. So, like, did you see anything suspicious? Or did you notice anything suspicious? Very, like, amateur detective hour here, which makes sense, because Jackie's basically just playing detective for the hell of it. Oh. Basically because she's bored. But okay, so did you notice anything suspicious before she died? Do you have any ideas as to who might have done this? We'll leave you be. And this will be a breaker. I can also change how these work to just have once here. But I'll save that for now. What did he notice? Actually, what will he say is the bigger question. Does he want us to be helping? I don't think he does. I think... we had some... Let's just say we had some questions for you. Oh, wait, no. I wonder if he'd be willing to answer some questions. So yeah, let's say, take care is our first thing here. In fact, we could do a fake out where we make it look... In fact, I'm going to do that. Basically, this whole loop is a fake out because eventually I want to add UI here where there's a subtle indication of when you're in a loop of dialogue. Yeah. So did you notice anything suspicious before she died? Let's say all of these are just going to go to fake outs. Okay. He waves his hands and says something to... she seems bothered. What do you say? He doesn't want to... And then this will be... So he doesn't want to talk to us about this. So why would he not want to talk to us? So he probably wants to figure this out without outsiders. It sounds like he has his own plans for how to deal with this. So is he investigating it then? Or is he... Then? I'm not sure. He doesn't seem terribly bothered by any of this. And this will be another one that we do. IL. Husband, dismissal. Oh wait, no, we can literally just break here. So he isn't interested in answering questions. In helping us. So yeah, another thing where we add this stat. That's alarming. I suppose we... So I suppose we'll have to find out more without him. Okay, because then the main thing that we have is, if we go back to here, the entrance to the forest is actually an important place. So, okay, that's alarming. I suppose we'll have to find out more without him. I also need a more standardized way of dismissing characters. Hang on. There we go. Don't need the map. Yeah, this is fine. Okay, so I'm thinking our next step in our master plan is to look at our master plan and see what the next step is. Quests in another life. So we are in third phase. Same strangely nonchalant translation is required. The fields. This is now the major thing. So, shakes her head, close. I know. Go to... Where is this character? I think this whole Lagoon Town thing should just all be... Hang on. Yeah, all of this dialogue, which is the 2 dialogue, should just be in here. Because I think there's very little dialogue that won't be tied to various quests. I think I'm going to structure the game that way. Also, I have been thinking, I may actually just wind up going ahead with, like, making it a full-on visual novel type thing. But I'll see where it takes me. It's still going to be, like, it's going to be at least a year until the game's story is actually done at this rate. So, I don't actually need to worry about it too much. But okay. What I wanted was the Forest Woman. Burka. So here, actually... I think what we need is... she says something. So if player has follower IL Auntie, Auntie asks her what's happening. Something. They don't want foreigners. There's only, so, or only locals. Or let's say local women. Let's see. Let's just say, let's have a few things here. So we can actually have this as a note. So not stat this, not stat that. Not, okay, so here is where we actually do there we are. Note this, the Good Town fence, where, so this now, I think we never need to have this here, because if it's completed, we do that. And if it's not completed, we don't have any stats for it. Or if it doesn't exist, we don't have that. So yeah, we don't need that. And here, we don't need this. Oh wait, no, we do need that. Nah, I'll keep it around for now. Okay, so this is where task is active, this. IL forest. I'm not allowed into the forest. Or why aren't I allowed into the forest? Why aren't I allowed in the forest? Oh, it's a private place for the local women. Oh wait, no. This is her dialogue, so we don't need this. Foreigners and men. So let's also have, like, if IL land inheritance. So, is this the same? Is this where the land? Oh wait, actually, we should probably have this be... Let's have and not state get stats this. Note, Lagoon Town. Actually, let's simplify this to this, and then IL Forest Flu. So we'll have an entirely new thing here. So if I'm not allowed into the forest, well, is the land inherited in the forest then? And then we can have like this still of like just basic answer. Yes. There's some fields past the trees. Those are, own part of them. Or own some of them. If I'm not allowed in, or should we look then? What do I actually need? Hang on. I'm also going to look up the specific outfit that I need. It's called like a Jodor. Yes, this is what I was looking for. A Jodor. Because originally the plan was to have Jackie completely obscure her face with a burqa, but I think what would instead make more thematic sense is because one of the whole, like, hooks of the quest is the fact that the murdered woman looks exactly like you. Having her dress in a chador would make sense. Oh. Okay, so let's say, let's do that here, of, horsewoman, chador. So let's have stat, or state get stat, IL inheritance. This is where... Should we look for it? Let's say rename nods. That would make sense. Or that makes sense. She might have left something. Or she would have come here without her husband many times. Or almost every day. Or let's say she would have come here almost every day. Yeah. That means... I think I need to make it clear. There's a few things that I need. Let's make it clear when we do this that other people don't know that Fahrenheit died. Because one of the things that I want to have is the player impersonates Fahrenheit. Because they look the same. I don't know if I actually completed that thought, because I actually looked up I noticed that I had a comment on my recent video and read that instead of completing my thought. But okay. Oh, right, I need to learn about the second wife. Oh, wait, no, I guess learn of the second wife, but we don't actually know where she is. Actually, that's gonna be... So yeah, we need, like... Let's see... Notes. IAL second wife, where... Back. Where is rename wife right now? I don't know where she goes. Fahrenheit worked in the fields. Or forest. But the second wife, what was she doing? What is her job? I think she would also probably work in the fields. let's say she and Forrest, but Fahrenheit was the one. But I think she was pregnant now. Well, was she? Hmm. But I haven't seen her recently. Okay, that's a good question then. What can you tell me? Or do you know much about... she's not blood related. Yeah. But I always liked her. Let's say she was a local girl. I knew her when she was born. Let's say she's not blood family like Fahrenheit, but I always liked her. She was, and we got quite close. What would she say? Hmm. Trying to think. What would actually be like an anecdote to demonstrate these qualities? Like, I'm always saying that of like, it's important to not just describe a person, but to describe them with an anecdote, because that actually gives you a lot more nuance and specificity. You know, it's the whole show don't tell thing. People say that a lot, but really, I think the more nuanced or the more nuanced saying would be something like people learn by examples. You know, like what does very intelligent actually mean here? What made her intelligent? Maybe she wrote poetry. That's a nice little anecdote. I think that tells you... See, that gives you now an example of that. I think this should be a loop as well. Oh wait, no, this is a breaker, not a backer. There we go. I think I might actually have all the control flow. Basically, I might do something like this. And then when you press the button, you go back instead. I'll think about it. But okay, where's the second wife right now? I don't know where she goes usually. She and Fahrenheit worked in the fields or forest, but I haven't seen her recently. How much do you know about the second wife? So she's not blood family like Fahrenheit, but I always liked her. She was a local girl, very sweet, very intelligent. She wrote poetry. I think this note or journal note, IL S wife gone. Well, no, let's just say she and Fahrenheit work in the fields. Perhaps she's there? This now is a very important thing to note. IL second wife, fields. And then IL second wife. Yeah, here we should have the same thing that we had before. State, get stat. And then let's just say we should go there. Or we should talk to her soon. I don't think I'm allowed into the force. Okay, so now we have like two different directions that can push us toward these fields. We have just the fact that the fields are blocked is going to be something the player wants to investigate, but then we also have the fact that like this guy's second wife, who is now like one of the potential suspects in the murder, was also probably in the fields. And so I should probably have more funnels into the... So let's put that. Add more funnels into the fields. Let's just say for now, you know, to do some... No, I don't want some third answer. Right. It's only for local women. You might not be allowed into the fields, or they might not let you into the fields. I have an idea. Let's, So let's have, hang on. We should also have, like, not stat. Well, no, not this. I'll think about that soon. I need, basically, copy home node. So this is, like, let's add a group. Happy home. Actually, let's rename this group to In Another Life Happy Home. Basically, if main speaker nav at il happy home, oh wait, I keep forgetting, we don't need this when she's talking. So she goes to a box and pulls out black fabric. Let's call this like this. Or go to. Okay, do I want... I'll just put this here. So she goes to a box and pulls out some black fabric. Could you try this on? So why? Sure. Or like I don't want to, sorry. Well, no. So if foreign women aren't allowed into the fields. But you only look foreign because you're wearing, or because you're dressed like a foreigner. Or, but you're family. If you dress like a normal person, a local person. Nobody will stop you. Let's just say, let's see. Yeah, so I think they won't... Or let's say foreigners aren't allowed into the field. But you're family. If you dress like a normal or local person, nobody will stop you. And then... But what about mannerism and all those things? Or let's say just pose as a native? But what about mannerisms and language? I can talk for you. Just pretend your throat is sore. Actually, let's say you want me to pose as a local woman? Surely they'd see through that. If someone asks me a question and I can't answer. Or the language barrier alone is a dead giveaway. So yeah, I can talk through for you. Just pretend your throat is sore. Or... I love wearing a disguise. Let's say a disguise. How fun. Hmm. So, surely they'd understand that we're doing something important, like they wouldn't... Yeah. Surely they would just let me in if they knew what happened. Or, alright, I suppose... Or actually, what is the worst that could happen if we're caught? I don't think anyone wants to hurt you, though. Or, let's say, no one would hurt you or anything like that. Local woman is repeated twice. Okay, you want me to pose as a local? Surely they'd see through it. The language barrier is a dead giveaway. So I can talk for you. Just pretend your throat is sore. And I'm also going to put this here. Yeah, that's it. I suppose something like that. Just pretend you have a sore, or just pretend your throat is sore. I can do the talking. So your family. Oh. If you dress like a normal or local woman. But okay, a disguise, have fun. So surely they would just let me in if they knew what was happening. If they knew... was murdered and her killer was on the loose? I think we should... until we know more. Hmm. Um. Hmm. I'm trying to think. I think it is. I think Auntie is making, for in her mind, the logically sound choice of trying to keep this murder as quiet as possible. Because, for those who don't know, she is actually trying to, like, help cover it up. Spoilers. I'm sure there's, like... To be honest, I don't even know how much spoilers even make sense, because it's probably almost incomprehensible to anyone else until they actually play it. Especially since I'm going to be renaming all of these characters. They literally have, like, these renames. But yeah, so Auntie is actually trying to cover for the second wife, who she thinks was involved in Fahrenheit's death. She doesn't actually know it yet, though. And that's part of why she's sort of helping you look for things. Because she wants you to be preoccupied. And hopefully to get the murder, or I think her hope is that you just, like, give up. So I have to keep that in mind. Because I think she knows that the second wife doesn't go to the fields. And that's part of why she wants you to, like, go there. Because then you can see, oh, the field is drugs. And so that's probably it. Like, she got, like, Fahrenheit got by somebody else for some sort of drug conflict. Open and closed. You know, it's Chinatown. I think here, I want even more positive stuff. So yeah, let's say, do you know much about second wife? And where is she right now? And then actually, let's say, do you think wife had anything to do death? And then why would you think that? I mean, surely some sort of jealousy. So you don't think so? No, she was such a sweet girl. I don't think she would have ever made enemies. Actually, what was Fahrenheit like? Let's note Fahrenheit as well. Hopefully this doesn't... Actually, we should have this as a catch-all underneath all this stuff. So, like, second wife, Fahrenheit, Chatterbox, husband. I think... down here... Yeah. And we also need to have, like, all of these, like, more specific things. should be up above, because basically these character notes will have like a lot of people attached to them. There we go. Right here is where we have this. So let's say characters. So yeah, what was Fahrenheit like? She was... So if we have state get stats, mum. Okay. A lot like your mother. What would I say? I'm imagining Fahrenheit was a rather, like, sort of a severe person, like that this is a pretty hard life. Why is this... Why is this what I wrote? Oh wait, no. She puts a hand on our shoulder. Or let's say, did I offend you? Or what would she say here? Actually, why not? Yeah, I think Jackie doesn't like to hear this because it's like, oh, this woman who is so much like your mother, you just missed her. She just freaking died. Sorry about that. You just stumbled upon her corpse. If I came a day sooner. Instead, I met a corpse. Yeah, if I'd arrived a day sooner, I could have met her. Instead, I stumbled upon her corpse. Yeah, stumbled upon her corpse. Let's do another, well, let's do a loop here. Well, no. Let's just have this, and then let's say, like, how is she? What did you mean, anyway? Or how exactly is she like my mother? I kind of want to just ask about her. So how exactly was she like my mother? Okay, so how exactly was she like my mother? This is... It's hard because I don't have clear words for the vibe that I get from her. I've talked about it before. A woman who lived a hard life. A woman who sort of does what needs to be done. So let's say she had a hard life. It's hard out here for everyone. But they always seems to get the worst luck. What was Fahrenheit's life like? Where's my hang on. Where's my family tree again? Because I think Fahrenheit might have also been an orphan. Family tree. So yeah, we have... Who is this? B? Why did I name her B? Is B significant? Yeah, we have great-granddad. Then we have, like, these uncles and our grandfather. I don't know if they're actually... I don't know the gender of these two. I just know the gender of this one, because we do have a great-uncle. And then from these ones, Fahrenheit was Auntie's niece. Which means that it would have only made, like, this would make sense if, like, they died. It would make sense for Auntie to raise her, but I don't think that's what happened. When was the war in their lives? I think these two were both born after the war. Because, yeah, this is one generation. Like, Fahrenheit's parents, Auntie, our mother, our aunt, and then our, like, cousin once removed guy. And how much of this is actually going to be thematically relevant? So to do, what exactly do I want here? How do I, or how does Fahrenheit's story reinforce her character and add to mom? State add stats mom Fahrenheit. She became the sort of person who could always do what needed to be done. She was shrewd. How do I put this? Mean? She could be mean, if she wanted to be. This isn't a very flattering picture. Thank you for being honest. It's good to know who she was. Good and bad. But yeah, again, I need more anecdotes. Yeah, I think this is a good way of putting it. Examples teach better than statements. So yeah, let's say this. I'm glad you don't think I'm being... I hope I'm not being... Or like, don't misunderstand. Both dearly. You know, let's say here this is going to be a back true. Oh wait, no. What I should do instead is I'm just going to have this. So where state.get stats auntie. Basically, it's almost always better to do this and have two separate things here. So that way, once you get the note, it then updates and says like, oh, you can just, like basically, this will be Fahrenheit mum. And then we'll have this here, which is the exact same question, but with a different answer. And so therefore, it'll have like a different indicator. Because this indicates like once you've done this block, the prompt for this block of text will show up as like repeat this dialogue rather than you have new dialogue to show. So even though it starts very similar. So what was Fahrenheit like? She was a complicated woman. I think this will be a similar thing. Well, I don't know. Is that all you want to say? I see. Well, I don't want to just... I need to think of how I would explain her. Well, let me know when you've thought of an explanation. Let's say that's a complicated question. Do you have an answer? I mean, for longer. I'll let you know when I think of an answer. Okay. Because I'm also thinking, if this is a very small village, there's probably going to be, like... You don't have the sort of, like, family alienation, at least not as much, that you have in, like, a larger city, or, like, where people move to different states and things like that and live hundreds of miles apart. And I don't really understand the family dynamics of this area. I just know that I want Fahrenheit to have sort of fallen out with the rest of the family. I'm going to say false here, actually. And then I want here as well. Let's say, actually... what do I want? Let's say num slash... Well, no, let's not say that. They don't want foreigners in the fields, only local women. I see. So, guy, Fahrenheit. Fahrenheit's husband is an important farmer. So, why aren't I allowed into the forest? Oh, the fields are a private place for the local women. Foreigners and men aren't allowed. Let's leave. Let's save and exit. So let's do this. Journal, note. Well... Lagoon Town, Forest Fence. Auntie? Let's just state add stat here. Well, no, I don't know what I want here. I already not want to talk. Okay, so I think what I need is the direction for... Okay. Actually, let's see what we have. So, where should we look? So, we talked to Fahrenheit's husband. So if we did... Let's do like this, actually. Or, my classic chronological order instead. So if we don't have that, otherwise, if we don't have IL husband sus true. Oh wait, no. I think that's fine. Let's say has stat. Otherwise, I'm not sure. Oh, wait. Okay. So once we have this, if we have state, let's say not state, get stat, IAL, second wife. Is that what we have? Yeah. Has that second wife? I'm not sure. Otherwise, let's say perhaps we need to talk to... I think she works in the fields. Have we asked everyone everything? All the questions we have? We're surely missing... We must not have... We must be missing something. Perhaps nobody said, or perhaps we haven't asked everything that should be asked. Because basically I want to hint to the player that they should just, like, do all of the dialogue options if they don't know what to do. But, I don't know how to express that in a way that feels, like, in-universe appropriate. And I'm also thinking, I still want her to be, like, not drawing heat to the second wife. So I'm not sure... I guess this could still be useful. So yeah, I'm not sure. We must be missing something. Perhaps, I wonder if the it's possible the case is going, or it's possible nobody knows what happened. Not that it was some sort of drifter. Let's keep looking. It's possible nobody knows what happened. It could be. Or Nim, or... It's a dangerous place. I don't think that's... I don't think we've found enough to rule out everybody in the city. Or I don't think we've learned enough. Okay. Let's see if this actually works. She should basically be like, I don't know, maybe it was just, maybe she just fucking died. So yeah. Where should we look? I think we should talk to Fahrenheit's husband. No. Hang on. Oh, wait. We need to have has stat true. In fact, I think we should have the same thing here where we do... Okay. So where should we look? Perhaps we should. Let's go. Okay, so I don't know what I did wrong. State data? Because there should be IAL... Oh, is it IAL underscore husband? No. IAL husband. So we don't have husband sus. Interesting. Okay, talk to the husband again. Use a note. I guess. Notice. Oh, I see. Okay, I forgot that I didn't actually ask him this. Now, when we do this, it's possible nobody knows what happened. So it's clear that people know what happened. Like, let's say, like, we can have, like, state get stats, or, like, state has stats, IL husband sus true. And then we also have IL guy. Is that actually how it's... Hang on. Oh, wait, I should do, clear, and then state data. Yeah, because we have IL underscore guy. And here, oh, interesting, the apostrophe. Oh, right, because that was from, like, a bug. So, IAL guy sus. Okay. So, like, obviously, seems to know something. At the very least, he's acting strangely. So what about guy? I can't help but think that there's something strange here. Or we can do second wife. Suspicious. True. Oh wait, no. This is when we don't have second wife as even like a thing that we've like mentioned. So it's kind of like our natural theory is to, so yeah, where should we look? I'm not sure. It's possible nobody knows what happened. So the husband clearly seems to know something. At the very least, he's acting strangely. And what about Guy? I can't help but think there's something strange going on. I can't help but think he's hiding something. So what, do you think it was some sort of drifter? I don't think we've learned enough to confirm something like that. So yeah. Here, actually, this is kind of an interesting thing. Basically now, Jackie is sort of playing the role of like answering the player's question of where to go. You know, we can either investigate more deeply into the husband. So, like, does he have business associates, friends, other family? Family, we could ask. Yeah, so that's going to be... I think that's going to... There is his wife. His other wife. Okay. His what? When Fahrenheit couldn't have children, he could either divorce her or to have a second wife. What would they say? Is that normal? Do people have multiple wives? So yeah, similar things that we had before. I guess we can just have, like, the husband questions, actually. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna have... Actually, yeah. This is better. I don't want to repeat all of these questions again, so instead what I'm gonna do is just go to husband questions, and then actually no, we'll enter husband questions and then potentially complete the block if we choose to. So yeah, we can do like a complete block. IAL husband. Oh wait, no. We should complete this first, right? Where do I want to complete this? I think I want to complete it right here. So that this is the crux of the information. This is our main piece. And so yeah, the player needs to kind of drag it out of Auntie. So like so yeah, could he have done it? How long have they been married? So like, is there anything strange? Alright, and we can also have so do you have any specific, or what are you thinking exactly? Yeah, let's say that. Then we can have IL guy. So yeah, tell me about guy. So we actually need guy, or sus? Let's have this also as guy questions. Yeah, I think that's good. What would he be hiding? Enter guy questions. And then what we can do is complete block IL guy sus. There we are. Okay. So now there's a bit more of a like way of stumbling into this a bit more organically. Admittedly, I wonder if I'm making the dialogue a bit too easy. Where should we look? So what about guy? I can't help but... Oh, I guess, admittedly, I keep forgetting. All of this dialogue is like, the player is explicitly clicking the button of like, hey, please tell me in the video game where to go. So if the player has to then choose like, okay, I can go to A, B, or I can just give up. Or I can just like not answer it. for myself. So, like, what are you thinking exactly? Could he have done it? You mean kill her? No, No, well, that's not a voice of confidence. They have a complicated relationship. Complicated enough that he could kill her? She's silent. So she couldn't have children. Out here, you know, it's important for families. Was he angry that she was infertile? Not exactly, no. He took a second wife. Oh. I keep doing this. Dang, 5 different places. Okay. So yeah, we can just do Fahrenheit's husband. Could he have done it? How so? So was he angry? He has 2 wives, is that normal? Yeah, I suppose that is complicated. Okay, so where should we look? Perhaps we need to talk to the second wife. I think she works in the fields. Let's go then. So they don't want foreigners in the fields, only local women. Okay, so we should have fields. So yeah, if we have this stat, we should definitely, like... So let's say, like, state get stats. Can you tell her that we need to talk to... So, can you tell her that we need to talk to rename second wife? I think we should say too much about our investigation. Why not? That makes sense. They might, I don't know. It could cause all sorts of issues. Still, that means we can't... I suppose you could go in alone. And then let's say I have a better... Wait, no. I forgot. This is now Auntie. Idea. Let's go back to my home and now. Need to get something. And this will be like journal note Auntie, no, IL Auntie errand. Auntie wants to, let's say, Auntie needs something from her home. State gets... Oh, wait, no. This is another life. River, town. Yeah, that seems fine. Apparently to do with... to get me into the fields. Okay. Let's have this be like enter errand. Maybe you could learn something going in. So we should probably look for her. Let's say, or we should probably look and see if she left anything behind. Let's have this. Errands. Oh. There we are. I guess you'd have to go alone. So yeah, I have a better idea. Let's go back to my home. I need to get something. And then we can have Auntie... So when we have... let's see. Where are we actually? So we should be careful in town. Ready location. So when main speaker nav following player, let's say this state get stat this and not. Get stat IAL Auntie chatter found. Okay, chatterbox. State add stat this, and then let's do player add item chatter. Actually, we can also even do journal note. So let's say gave me a chatter to wear. I suppose to well, nah. Because then you get the information in the journal before you actually have it spoken, but I want this first, like right when you get the item. How about I just keep on? Just hold on to it for now. Yes, but you'll need to wear it. Back to the forest. So player wear. I think this is how it'll work. Hang on. How does the player work? So like set hairstyle by ID. Do we have, I guess we can just do function where by ID string pass. Hang on, don't I have... Hang on. Add clothing if exists ID. Okay. So do we wear it then? Hairstyles append, hair equals data. I think we should probably also encode this should be a dictionary, I think. Like hairstyles to available hairstyles. Because otherwise, when you load it by ID, yeah, hang on. Project settings. I'm gonna boost up. Oh, this is gonna be a delicious disaster. I need to bump the version of the game. Wait, no. I'm not gonna do that yet, though. Because right now, all we need to do is we add the item. We don't need to wear it here. Well, let's have that, though, as a thing that we can do. So we're going to have just function wear clothing string bool return true to do implement, and that'll be back in like back to basics outfit system clothing. So what all do I need? I need the ability to redo save to make a redo clothing info to save a dictionary. Easier. In fact, it would make more sense if all of our clothing items were just like one thing. You know, basically we could have just, in fact, redo clothing to save a dictionary. So redo clothing info. Make it all one system save it as a dictionary. So basically like class clothing enum slots and it'd be like what, head, torso. Let's also say like hat, head, torso. In fact, we even need more than that. Hat, hair, head. Because hat would be, no, let's say like head attach head join, no, head physics head torso. I guess we could even call this, what would we call this? I think this is fine. Basically, I'm thinking there's actually 3 different ways the player can have something attached to their head. It can either be attached to the actual bones, it can be attached to one bone with physics of its own, or it can be like replacing the head. So it'd be head replace. Yeah, head attach, head physics, head replace. Then torso, then pants. And then maybe like shoes or something. No, we don't have shoes as a separate thing. Okay, These are these are them. And then maybe like an accessory slot eventually. So basically now, everything would have like this. Replace hairstyles, hats, coat patterns. Yeah, with one unified system. So yeah, head attach, head physics, head replace, torso pants. Okay. Oh, and then you'd have like bit mask of slots. I wonder if I can do bit masks as like a thing. I'm gonna look that up. I mean, I don't need to look it up now. That'll be something that I do eventually. Let's get back to actually writing the script. We'll just have the function for the player to wear the chador, but in reality, they actually just have it in their inventory. And then we have here in close. See how this works. Yeah, so you can see here, we have hairstyles as a thing. Yeah, and you can see I have almost the thing that we would want. I wonder if maybe I could just do a custom widget on a thing. But okay, this is going to be chador.tres. And it's going to be visual name. It'll also have a head slot and a pants slot. Well, it won't replace the head, but it'll replace... Yeah, this is exactly where the issue is. And we also need, I think, an array of meshes. So yeah, because I think an outfit should actually be able to have multiple meshes attached to it. So that way, for example, I could have like a set of hair that partially attaches to the skeleton, but also has physics, which is like a separate node that has to be like parented to the bone instead. You know, one system. But actually, honestly, as I said, the game is 2D, so we don't even need that right now. We just need this system here. Bit mask of slots, models and materials, ID and name, and other stuff. I think it'd be cool. Yeah. I want to figure out how to make a, like, thing that does what I want there. But okay, that's not the answer. Or that's not what we need, though. We're gonna get the chador. I don't know how it's actually pronounced. I keep switching between chador and chador. I guess I can just look it up. I have the power. Dictionary? Cheddar? Juder? What the hell is this symbol? Open mid-back unrounded vowel.
Ah.
Yeah, so it is more like chowder than chutter. Yeah, chowder. Okay, she shakes her head closed. I see. Okay. So now we need to actually do the dialogue where we go to get the box. So then we're going to do just enter. And actually, okay. Boom, boom. Wrong place. This is the right place. This is the place. Oh, wait. Hang on. We need to, first of all, main speaker nav in, hang on. I think, let's say, we should get back to my house so I can help. To my home so I can get. Where are the fields? Other. Oh, wait, no. This should be main speaker. Nav in. Happy home. Didn't I have this as well? Okay, yeah. So if we're already at her house, she'll immediately do that. Otherwise... see. Okay. Oh wait, this should be right here. Let's see if this works. And let's see what she says. It could be an issue with the alert. Interesting that we did not have anything. So main speaker is following player. Where should we look? So state get stat IAL auntie errand. Did we not do that? Oh, I see. We didn't do that. Leave. Back. Go back to here. Wait, didn't we literally have... Hang on. Where should we look? Perhaps talk to second wife. I think she works in the fields. Oh, right. Okay, I see. Rename wife works in the fields. Perhaps we should talk to her. So this would be Lagoon, Town, second, no, another life, IAL, second wife. Second life with another wife. It's very different. But okay, now if we go back to here, we do this, we do that. Oh, now if we do this... So can you tell her we need to talk to her? That makes sense. It could cause all sorts of problems. Still, that means we can't talk to her. I suppose we could go and... You could go in alone. Interesting. .in. Main speaker.nav.in IAL. Oh, I see. If s not in expr cache, return no. Okay. Actually, I'm just going to return .getS then. And then get compiled. So yeah, actually let's do if expression. This, no, we need... Why do I always have it true? I think it should be false, actually, when we evaluate. Okay, where else do we use get compiled? Cond here. Notify, get compiled. Okay, so I think in most other instances, they should be fine. So let's talk to her again. Where should we look? Let's go. Closed. Can you tell her about this? Oh, wait. Yeah. We should actually have if not expression. Right error. Could not compile. Right error. Message. No. This. Next item. EX text. Return false. Okay. Can tell that we need to talk to her. That makes sense. Did we write the error? Ah, it was here. Okay. Now, at the very least, it'll have that error there, though now it doesn't, So that was nav in. That's because that wasn't true. Okay. So now, let's restart. Okay, good. So now if we do this, boom, perfect. Let's see. She goes to a box and pulls out some black fabric. Could you try this on? Why? Foreigners aren't allowed into the fields, but you're family. If you dress like a normal or local woman, nobody will stop you. You want me to pose as a local? Surely they'd see through it. The language barrier is a dead giveaway. I can talk for you. Just pretend your throat is sore. Surely they would just let me in if they knew what was happening. If they knew Fahrenheit was murdered and her killer was on the loose? I think we should keep that quiet until we know more. Wait. Quiet. Until we know more. I suppose it makes sense. I'll hold on to it at least. Alright, let's have a false here. Or like a true or whatever. So basically... Okay, I suppose I can... I suppose I'll put it on. Okay. Put on the chatter. So they have a small mirror in the room and you examine yourself. Actually... what do I want? Eventually I'd like to have some sort of thing where you can, like, contemplate life while in the mirror. So let's say, borrow some clothes to investigate with Auntie. So, like, I don't want this anymore. Nah. Maybe just in general. In fact, I could just have mirrors be a thing that you can use at any point. And they always would say the same things based on what you're wearing, rather than having like one specific mirror in one specific place to do it. Okay, that would be an interesting idea. One of those things that probably shouldn't be listed as a, like, won't ship, but oh well. Oh, wait. I see. So we need to go back to here. Go to here. Sure. Oh. Player wear shutter. On call to where? Player... Wait, uh-huh. Oh, I see. I have it as wear by ID. So I think I return info where ID. So where should we look? So now that we have this, so clearly, otherwise not state get stats IAL slash what is it called? IAL Auntie Shatter found. So then otherwise we should check the fields. Actually, there's multiple reasons you might need to check the field, so let's say that should be higher up of like, we have like this here. Fields. There's all sorts of things. There's a lot of things we could find there. There are many things. That'd be what she'd say. Okay. Now what do you say? We should check the fields. There are many things we could find there. Let's go. She glances at you, then downward. And that means that now I actually need to draw the fields, implement the fields. Not gonna be easy. Well, honestly, not that hard either. So I think what I'm gonna do is, first of all, let's go to entry. This is the south entry. Technically, it's the east entry. Okay, what I actually want is a scene change 2D here. And basically, this should be only openable if the player has a charter on. And so I'm going to put like a deleter or like a conditional. This will be, yeah, we'll delete the parent. So state, no, player dot is wearing charter. In fact, we should probably make sure that it's like applied correctly. IAL body at place string if scene node return scene and that. I have never. Oh, did I press F6 by mistake or something? So we're in like the mysterious void. Oh, because we. Okay, because our save is okay, hang on. We need to go to our save. So yeah, this east. Easy. So that would only happen in a corrupted save. Okay. The awkward thing is I still haven't actually done any research whatsoever on, like, the opium trade in Afghanistan. Very embarrassing. So I have no idea what the hell I'm drawing here. But oh well. We only need, like, a very simple gesture for the thing. Okay, so cliffs, cliffs, trees. Basically, we have, like, fields that are shielded by trees. And then in here, there'd be, like, fields of flowers. I should probably make this, thicker. Oh. There we are. Now it'll be more in line with the rest of the style of this sketch. If I make this a visual novel, I wonder what I'll do for art. I might just actually pay somebody to do art, rather than even daring to try and do it myself. But if I do that, then ironically, the 2D version of the game would be more expensive to make than the 3D. As long as my time isn't worth any money. So yeah, actually, I think that kind of officially talks me out of the 3D, because I've said repeatedly, the game will almost assuredly not make a profit. So yeah, spending money on 2D art would ironically be a worse idea than just, like, spending my free time every now and then making the 3D art. Because yeah, I think people just have, like, extraordinarily high standards for 2D art, especially for something like a visual novel. Where with 3D, people are a lot more lenient. You know, so I can have something that looks sort of PlayStation, Nintendo 64-ish. And because it's just gesturing toward, like, the idea of a big world, it seems very cool. Because there's just an inherent appeal to a world existing and being able to interact with it. Where with a drawing, you have to do a lot more, like, aesthetic work. Plus, I'm just better at writing shaders than, like, drawing in perspective and things like that. But okay, so I think what I want here, there'd be, like, a simple little hut. Or a few of these sort of, like, I don't know what they'd be. Yeah, we're gonna have, like, I don't know, rocks or something, like a fence here. Okay, there we are. Didn't I actually make this before? Like, isn't the Lagoon Town thingamabob here? Ah, well. Project 2D scenes, Lagoon Town. Oh, PNG. Lagoon Forest. Yeah. I guess not. Fields. I think the scale is going to be way whack. In the 3D version, at least. I guess that's like the biggest problem with 3D, especially in open world, is that I now have to commit to, like, scale. Where with 2D, I can just draw the correctly sized things and not have to worry about, like, navigation and stuff. But okay, wrong thing. Okay, Lagoon Forest Fields. $2D. There we are. So this is now Forest Fields. Okay, so now we can go in. We got the fields, very beautiful. Save and exit. We now need Lagoon Forest Fields to be a thing. Let's do like Lagoon Town. Lagoon Forest Fields. So what do I want to do then? Probably have NPCs here. Because I think I know at least one character that I want. We will not find the second wife here, I don't think. Instead, we'll find women who recognize Fahrenheit. Well, they mistake Jackie for Fahrenheit. Which admittedly isn't going to be that big of a revelation now, because we've said, like, she owns the field. So clearly if someone comes up and is like, oh, Fahrenheit manages the field, it's like, that's not really a big shock. I think the big shock is going to be that the field is drugs. Or that it's used for producing drugs. In fact, let's have a talker 2D for the field itself. So this will be like this, I guess. Another life. Okay, ID, IAL, fields. Admittedly, I'm still wondering if any of this quest is interesting enough to be worth creating. But I think what's going to really happen is basically I can make it, and then from this raw material that I've sort of spewed out, I can create something more interesting and then like prune everything else. I think that's going to be like the big thing that I do after I've gotten all of the quests implemented, is I'll like fill in the gaps and then also start cutting dialogue down that doesn't make sense or is redundant. which honestly will probably wind up with me writing even more dialogue, because basically it won't be redundant, it'll be dialogue that's redundant if the player talks to people in certain orders that I haven't anticipated, and like, you know, two of them introduce the same topic as if it's the first time you've heard of it. And I'll need to make, then, twice as much dialogue, one for if you've, like, heard it before, and one if you've not heard it before. Ugh. I probably should make more linear stories. I think that's my next step. Just make a linear story instead. Okay, murder site, dried blood. Let's do, fields. Flowers? So eventually, actually, journal note. Flowers. Or Lagoon Town flowers. Massive, they grow fields of flowers. Rename Lagoon Town. Okay. And obviously, we'll need some more stuff. Okay. Flowers. Okay, Auntie. So main speaker at, let's do, nav at IAL, no, this is Lagoon Town Fields. Forest Fields, Fields. So let's say state get stats, IAL Auntie, or no, second wife Fields. Do you see rename second wife anywhere? No, I suppose we need to ask. Otherwise, state get stats IL inheritance. Where did Fahrenheit work? Or which field does Fahrenheit own? She points to one of them. So, to do over here. She would have spent a lot of time in this hut. Let's say this one over here. And let's say also, otherwise, do you think we'll find anything here? So let's say if Fahrenheit works at husband's field. Fahrenheit's field is this one. Yeah, let's say that. Let's say that. Okay. And that'll be like this lady or something. Okay, let's see if we got a little alert. Nice. Okay. Do you see the second wife anywhere? No, I suppose we need to look around. Fahrenheit worked her husband's field over here. She points to one. Well, obviously. Okay, let's go. So we need to, like, state add stat. Actually, I think let's state add stat. IAL fields entered. I guess we don't even need that with this. We can just do this here. So yeah, where should we go now? If we have the charter and so I think this kind of blows all of this out of the water for now. Oh wait, no. As long as we do not state get stats IL field entered. If we have this, fields entered but not states get stats something discovered. So we should check the field. Well, no, this seems fine here. Let's just say, like, main speaker nav within fields, or lagoon, town, no, lagoon forest fields, 3 different biomes. So yeah, if we are not at that, otherwise, ask around the fields. Perhaps some women knew Fahrenheit from work, or perhaps some of the women would have answers. Otherwise, let's also have let's have otherwise state get stats IL second wife fields. Look for rename second wife. She may have, yeah. I think she might be here. Okay. And she isn't going to be here, but we'll discover other things, basically. Okay. Do you see second wife anywhere? Nope. Where should we look? Let's look for the second wife. I think she might be here. Now let's go. Okay. Whew. Getting tired, but there is more to discover. So this is going to be NPC worker. She'll be the important one. We'll do people. We'll just do, like, worker. Oh, wait, no. We don't need these people. We need, new file. A woman notices you. And approaches. Fahrenheit. She rapidly says something. You have no idea what she's saying. So if the player has Auntie as a follower, hmm. Hmm. You know, I'm thinking it's very difficult to pretend that you can understand someone but not speak. I know what we should do. We should simply ignore the woman and keep walking. And that would be... Yeah, let's say that. Should you be... Oh, wait, yeah. Explains that we can't speak. Does she know? Has she mistaken us for, let's say... I need to also keep in mind that the player could potentially get in here without knowing anybody or anything that's happening. So let's say, otherwise, main speaker, or let's say, like, journal task is active. Let's say journal get stat. Now, what should we say? Journal knows person. So, like, remember. Oh, okay. We already have remembered people. Function knows. Person. String. Return remembered. Should be a bool. So yeah, return remembered people, person. So journal knows IAL Fahrenheit. Is she mistaking us for... Now I'm writing in... Hang on. Let's say, does she mistake us? That must be it. Do we really look so similar? Okay. Otherwise, let's say journal task exists, or journal task is active, another life. What's happening? Why is she speaking to us like she knows us? Actually, let's just say otherwise. And a strong urge to leave. So let's just do journal note. IL field mistaken. So a woman mistook me, or a woman approached me and started talking. Knew me. She knew me. Or a woman in the fields. So this will be another life. Lagoon Town. Let's say IL field noticed. Oh. With a good deal of urgency. We have a bad feeling and a strong urge to leave. So let's have this here. Well, actually. So we need this up here. Here. So does she mistake us for Fahrenheit? Do we really look so similar? It would be completely fucked if the player got here without actually knowing who Fahrenheit is, because she's the woman who died. If the player's like halfway through the investigation and they've never actually learned her name, or they like get to this like halfway point. I mean, I just realized what I can do. Player is wearing. Otherwise. Woman is alarmed by your presence. It seems you don't belong here. Okay. Oh yeah, save and exit. Oh yeah, also, in my video today, I mentioned that I was thinking of having my game as a, like, Patreon bonus. My other game, well, I guess both this game and that game when they both release. But the issue with that, I'm realizing, is that that could still count to Steam as selling the game for less money on a separate platform. So I should probably ask their, like, support channel before I do that, because otherwise I could, like, get the game delisted and get, like, blacklisted from Steam, which would be a shame. And, like, I know better to ask forgiveness than permission, but with, like, big companies, they don't need to forgive you. Like, they can just ban you. But okay, so what dialogue did I need? Where is the worker lady? Field worker. ID IAL field 1. Let's say fields worker. And admittedly, I should have her, like, approach us. A woman notices you and approaches. Fahrenheit. She starts speaking in Yukazi. You have no idea what she's saying. Oh, right. Not main speaker has follower. Player has follower. YouTube killed my music. Let's see, hang on, I should, like... That's fine. Actually, let's do... Fahrenheit. She starts speaking in Yukazi. You have no idea what she's saying. What's happening? Why is she speaking to you like she knows you and with a good deal of urgency? Oh, I see. There we go. Okay, there we go. Fahrenheit. Auntie gestures to her throat and explains that you can't speak. You realize there's no possible way you could ask her anything without gaining suspicion. She gestures to you. So yeah, she gestures to you to go to the shed. So here we need to do IAL. Fields noticed Auntie. Wait, don't we know? Hang on, weren't we supposed to, like, hang on. Journal. Let's see, scripts, so we need names. Let's do journal names. So we have people, places, tasks. IAL Fahrenheit should be in here. Is she not in here? That's insane. We don't know Fahrenheit's name canonically. How do we not know her name? I think any time. Hmm. Hmm. So when Rename Guy's father died, he gave us his farmland to Fahrenheit. So does that mean if I go to my journal right now, it's going to say IAL Fahrenheit under people somewhere. Oh, we just don't have her. Oh, she's probably under topics? IAL Fahrenheit? Yeah. Oh, that's terrible. Anupther life. Ooh. I guess we could just have the murdered woman's name already memorized. Or I suppose, actually, I have a good idea. In another life, remember, IL, height, people, murdered woman. And we can update this at some point. Oh wait, no. This needs to be journal, remember. And then, you know what, let's do a similar thing here where we do like a remember people. Actually, what is how does this ID work? Okay, it's category, then thing. Or category tag, then name. Yeah. And I think it should be true by default, actually. To override. Because, like, we want the most recent name that we use. And maybe, like, here we don't have this because murdered woman is, like, our catch-all for her name. So remember people, L second wife, rename, wife. Okay. So now I'm trying to figure out my mind, I guess. I'm gonna skip this song. Too much for my small brain right now. I've already, like, lost the way. Okay. Yeah, because I think the insane thing here... You know what? I think I'm just gonna fucking put her name right in here. Just rename Fahrenheit. We just know the woman's name instinctively because the video game demands it. Oh no, but that... Oh wait, no. I have to do this anyway because, yeah, I think... No, I think I do want to call this murdered woman. But that means that the way that we do it here, we can't do this. Journal knows IL Fahrenheit. We have to do state get stat IL Fahrenheit name. Or I guess just IL Fahrenheit. Yeah, I think this is going to be the big issue of like investigate the fields actually so like make sure early. Add more funnels into the fields. I guess that's, yeah. Oh, wait, no. That was that. Learn about her through the husband, auntie, or guy. I guess. Let's just put auntie from guy. Anyone else? I don't know. I think this is fine. I think this is fine. I think we got the investigation for this phase, phase 3. Let's see. A woman notices you failed to execute journal note because we don't need journal note here. That was the wrong thing that I put. This was supposed to be state add stat. Then we do this again. Okay. So then we can do like actually see she gestures to leave. Okay, so what we're gonna need now is this. So if we're at Lagoon Forest or Goo Lagoon, whatever it is. Otherwise, I guess this is fine. So if we have speaker get stats, this and not, oh wait, no. State get stat, not state get stat, IL, auntie, discussed, fields, or noticed. So this will be field noticed. That woman thought you were... That woman mistook you for Fahrenheit. She thought you were... She was asking you what to do about the fields. Should I have responded? Was Fahrenheit some sort of manager? And so, I've never been... I don't typically come over, or I don't like to come over into the fields. I suppose I don't really know much about her work here. other than what she grows. Yeah, this is one of those things where I think it was more interesting in my head, but now that we've had so many possible explanations for this, I don't think, well, it could be interesting because the player might not know anything about Fahrenheit's land ownership stuff. No, you did well. So, yeah, should I have responded somehow? Yeah, no, you did well. There was nothing you could have said. Or anything you said could have given us away. Let's say anything you did would have given you away. I think we shouldn't be here if people recognize you and notice you. I didn't realize that much like her. We might need to leave or get some other outfit or something. I think we... people who work with her mistake you. If... So yeah, Fahrenheit's been missing for a few days. People will really notice her. People are going to notice when she's... I didn't think... I didn't realize you looked so much like her. Her... Yeah, let's say I didn't realize you looked so much like her. So yeah, should I... So yeah, I knew you looked like her, but I didn't realize how similar you were. Let's say this. So yeah, was Fahrenheit in charge of people then? She and her husband. Okay. I think it's a bad idea to stay here for long. Fahrenheit's been missing for days. People are going to notice that she came back. We should probably find... what should we do? States add stat il on t discussed noticed. So yeah, where should we look? So we should check the fields. Let's just say So otherwise, IAL, want to discuss noticed, or state, get stats. If we can look around for a bit. Nobody will come into... The shed there was Fahrenheit's. Maybe she left something behind. Something smells spicy. It's making me extremely hungry, actually. Yeah, the shed there was Fahrenheit's field. Maybe she left something behind. What would she have left behind? I'm leading the player to this shed. But, like, what is in the shed? To do, she points to a shed. Okay, so this is going to be shed. I guess this is where we realize the flowers is drugs. So yeah, oh wait, no, this is the wrong thing. That's not a scene change 2D. What does that smell? It smells good. Oh, I know what it is. Sloppy Joes. That's what it smells like. Like very spicy Sloppy Joes. Okay, I need, let's do placeholder, no, template. New inherited scene. I think for my masterpiece, okay. This will be the shocking revelation. Nobody could have predicted this. I mean, literally, there'll be people who, like, tell you this, I'm pretty sure, somewhere. Yeah, I'm dying of starvation now. Talker, 2D. Yeah, flower is drug. Oh, wait, hang on. Yeah. So this is our back button. And where will we learn this? I think we'll learn it from Another Life. What would this be? Another Life, maybe? The flowers is drugs. Another Life, Yakaz? So this will be IL Lab, and our custom entry will be Lab. And we will learn this earth-shattering revelation that the flowers is drugs. Okay, so what does she have to say? That woman mistook you for Fahrenheit. She was asking what to do, she was asking you what to do about the fields. I knew you looked like her, but I didn't realize how similar you two were. Was Fahrenheit in charge of people then? I imagine so. I don't like coming into the fields. I don't like coming into the fields. I don't know what she does over here other than what she grows. She and her husband own a field. I should have suspected she managed it. I think it's a bad idea to stay here for long. Fahrenheit's been missing for days. People are going to notice that she came back. So where should we look? We can look around for a bit. The shed there was for Fahrenheit's field. Maybe she left something behind? Points to a shed. Let's go. Oh, did it not save an exit? Oh, I see. Wrong thing. Flower is drugs. So I think what we need to do here is we need to go to Lagoon Forest Lab. And it's in the field, and it's in the Lagoon Town. This is also... Oh, wait, no. Wrong thing. This is the right thing. Okay, yeah. So we need to save and exit. We need now a new stat here. Main speaker nav at Lagoon Forest Lab. And not state get stat IL Auntie discussed drug. Basically, I'm just putting this in here so I actually have like the proper what have you. The ability to note things. State add stats IL on T discussed drug. So I think this will be the final thing that really sends you to the next state. We can do like... Oh wait, we're not even in... State get sent. So I think... Okay. I guess we don't have that. So yeah, once we have that as our thing to do, where should we look? Should then just be like state get stats. Well, I think it's I don't know. Surely it has something to do with the fields, right? We have plenty of leads. I'm feeling a little overwhelmed now. I think she's like, she doesn't want to help with the investigation anymore, I think. So let's have a loop here. Then let's find out more. Or then let's go and find out. So, who owns the other parts of the field? Or like ask once. Who controls this drug trade? Ask once. How many people would want to control these sorts of drugs? Or this trade? Or like, ask once. Would the police want? Okay. I think that's all I can stand to do. Because the food smells delicious. Alright, what's happening here? Oh, I see. Fixed a crash when a compilation fails. Okay. Stage 3 of the investigation. Because now we have the revelation from stage 3, which is that the flowers is drugs. And admittedly, there's a lot of things that I'd want to add. Mostly, well, actual like dialogue there. Yeah, the fields, the flowers are for drugs. Make the dialogue good. Add early roots. Conversations with on. So, like, why was she hiding this? Who knows about this? Where do we go from here? Or, like, when did this start? Okay. There we go. Then we push. And then I will eat leftover sushi. I can see summer's already ending. It's 7:40 and it's already pretty dark out. Well, such is life in the north. Okay, I'll be back someday. This was a pretty productive stream. So I'll either be back tomorrow or sometime this week. I've been alternating between this game and Kitty Found a Camera. Let's see. But yep, more work. See you later.